my dear Scorpio. This is your love and spirituality reading for the month of June 2019 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. We are soon entering into Gemini season, so happy birthday to all Geminis out there. And I read for the signs in order of most liked videos, and you can see the order I read in this time around at the community section of my channel. And thank you all for liking, watching, commenting, donating, and subscribing to my channel. I am so grateful for all of your appreciation. If you want to support my channel even more, you can click the ad attached to this video or watch the ad for 30 seconds or to the end of the ad, whichever comes first. That's the way YouTube channels get paid, and you can continue watching all this lovely content for free. So thank you so much. This is a general reading for Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. The reading can go both ways. The drama is the same, but it can be different castings to the different roles by the universe. So what I'm telling you here can be in the reversed, for example. For this reading, I will use the Crystal Tarot with Elisabetta Trevisan, and I will start shuffling your cards. So, my dear Scorpio, see what's going on with you here. So, when I open the deck, I see 9 of Cups together with 5 of Wands. I think a lot of the signs have got 9 of Cups up till now. I have done Leo, Sagittarius, Cancer, and Capricorn. So it seems it's some kind of theme that in this particular time, the planets are located in some way where we can actually get our dreams fulfilled. We can get the things we're dreaming of. If we are dreaming of conflict, however, conflict is what we might get. But what I'm seeing here is you having some kind of inner conflict. There's something you want, but maybe you feel that this something isn't good for you or isn't right for you. Or maybe you think you will never achieve it. So your point of attraction here seems that you are on your way to Rome, halfway over the Atlantic Ocean or the continent of Europe. You are changing your mind and going back to wherever you came from. And then, no, I want to go to Rome. I have decided I want to go. And you're almost there, and then you turn around again. So 5 of Wands in a conflict. So this kind of inner conflict can come when we don't think that we can get this, what we want. We come with thoughts that says, no, I will never achieve this. This is not possible. And the universe says, well, your wish is my command, and it's not possible. And the things will, it's like a veil between you and the things that you want. And this veil is your own thoughts, most likely, but can also be karmic situations and other situations like this. So what we want to do here is to be clear of what we want, because sometimes this 9 of Cups can be a little bit connected with the devil and shadows. So you don't truly know what you want, or you know what you want, but you don't think that this is a good goal for you. Or you can have feelings for people that you feel is not... they are not healthy for you, or this relationship isn't healthy. So there's some kind of inner conflict going on, which make your road to success with your dreams a little bit, it's almost like a bunny in front of your car. It goes like this to avoid being eaten by the fox. And this is a little bit what I'm seeing here. Okay, so I call the divine with love and light, and here we have also the 8 of Cups together with 9 of Cups. So I think this, what you want, is something that has kind of stolen your energy from time to time. People have the tendency to do that. Someone said hell is other people, and in this case it seems like the people that you love might have stolen some of your energy. 8 of Cups is also connected to karmic situation, because it's an eternity symbol. 8, just going around and around like this until you have learned a lesson. And the lesson might be to not give away too much of your energy, to stay in balance. Even if you so much want to achieve this dream, maybe the dream will not come true if you give too much of yourself. For example, if you give too much to your half adult children, they might take you for granted and not giving anything back, even though this is now a grown-up relationship. So that can be the situation. Or if you are so in love with someone and you tell them all the time that they get overwhelmed and they never tell it back, so then you don't get your needs met. So it's something like this that's going on where you probably have given too much to people and maybe overwhelmed or spoiled them in some way. It can also be in the other way around, of course. Someone has been giving something to you and you never gave it back, but that's not what I'm seeing, okay? So I called for archangels in the four corners of the world, and we have a King of Pentacles here together with the Nine of Cups. So I think this is an advice. It shows that if you want this, what you want, you need to be very, like have good boundaries and being stubborn about it. If you want a love relationship, for example, it needs to be a love relationship, not a I take advantage of you relationship. If this is a family situation, it needs to be family, not certain people having certain roles where one is maybe putting on in all the effort to cooking dinners and so on, and the other people are just coming to eat it. So some people have this way about them. They want to spoil other people, and that's fine. But if you feel like you're missing out or the love is not coming back to you, you might need to understand that people is kind of being raised by you, even if you're just their friend or you are acquaintance or whatever. The way you let people treat you is also how they are going to treat you. So to be a little bit of King of Pentacles, having boundaries, sitting on a throne and being able to shut your castle door can be very good in these kind of situation where you are kind of teaching yourself or you are excavating, finding out what is really fulfilling your needs. You might have thought that it was one way. Well, I want to give all these things, but the truth is maybe that you gave all these things because you wanted something back and you didn't get it. So I can also see that in this situation, maybe you need to give these things back to yourself. The way you take care of you is how other will take care of you. The way you respect you is the way other will respect you. Yes. I see different scenarios too, where you might be dealing with some unavailable person that truly wants to be with you, but they are brooding over something. You might want to talk to them about what it can be. Maybe they are not fully happy with your relationship. Okay, so I call the 6 elements, and here we have death coming for this King of Pentacles. Okay, so this might of course be this King of Pentacles, Capricorn, Taurus or Virgo, thinking of breaking up with you, or some kind of threat maybe towards your castle. This threat, however, death card there, it wants to make a change, okay? For some of you, you have been maybe bullied by someone that's extremely private or extremely, like they don't let you inside their castle doors. So that's how you learned that you were supposed to have better boundaries. But it might be that change will come for this person too, because usually we are meeting someone that's not at all like us and we rub off on them. So one person is learning this person's aim, and this person is learning that person's aim. But sometimes it can be like this, that only one person is learning, like they are compromising, bending, trying to figure out, while this other person just stays, you know, as they were. So I think this might be you. You have learned a lot of things from someone maybe very stubborn in your life, that might have been a little bit keeping you out in the cold a little bit, and they didn't really learn anything from this, you see, because you did all the learning here, you did all the compromises, and that's why you have the 8 of Cups also being totally exhausted. But when you were totally exhausted, you kind of realize that you need to have better boundaries. So that was what you learned in this situation. This other person, I think this death card is coming for them. So they need to learn something too. And that might be to actually give things to other people, because King of Pentacles can have a little bit of an ego, self-preservation. Death usually kills off that ego and make it impossible for a person to protect themselves against the challenges that they are supposed to be a subject to. If you're cost watchers, of course, this can be Scorpio being this stubborn, and you have learned from them to take better care of yourself. And now also the Scorpio is going to learn to maybe start giving. Usually the people that watch tarot is the people that have been trying to give a lot of love and it didn't work, and so now what? And you're asking me, and I'm trying to figure it out for you here. Okay, so 6 elements. Earth. Here we have a Gemini, Gemini energy. It can be Libra or Aquarius as well, together with the Wheel of Fortune. So it's like a little bit revolution happening here. What was up will be down, and what was down will be up. That's usually what happens in a revolution, but it's just for a little while. Then the ones that were down starts to become as power hungry, okay, as the one that once were up. So I'm thinking it's a little bit of a revolution here, a little bit sticky energy. I'm thinking you might be a little bit pissed off with a certain someone or a group of people, and you're not going to let them walk all over you anymore. So you might be helping Death, of course, with the job there of breaking someone's ego a little bit until they come into healthy levels. Okay, so I didn't say all the prayer, but I truly want Scorpio to have love in their lives, creative success, and be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. Too much of the babbling. Okay, so I will just tune in to you and the energy of June for you for a few seconds here. Okay, Scorpio, what I'm feeling here is that someone might have been playing power games with you, trying to top ride you in some way, or maybe bully you or take power over you in some way. It might go the other way around. You might have been doing this towards someone. This kind of way of dealing with people, taking power or being powerless, has been a very long, old story. As long as we have had human slaves, and I think that's a long while. Okay, and so this old power game, I think it's coming to an end, because the people that has been submitting themselves to this power is not going to let that go on anymore, and it's a natural thing. It will just, you will not be able to submit yourself to this power anymore. You will kind of become allergic to do so, and you will step into your own authority. So this is what's happening. And of course, for those that have kind of benefited from manipulating people and getting into power, it can be people in your close proximity, like friends, family, co-workers, so on. And it's also, of course, on a world arena. So when the old power games doesn't work, they will have to find something else that they can build their own security on. And I think that's the fall of the ego. So also these people being a little bit over controlling and wanting things in a certain way that's good for them, they will have to find other ways to do this, because people are not submitting to their power anymore. So, okay, so if you have been feeling that you're up against great force and you're tired, it's no wonder, okay? So, Scorpio June. This is your future there. And this is your now there. And this is your past. And we have a King of Pentacles there. So this kind of authority figure, it's healthy, you know. It's healthy to have boundaries. It's healthy to know where you end and another person begins. And it's healthy to save your resources and to work on your inner peace and your inner garden, making yourself like stable and grounded. But when that is becoming like too an excessive energy, it's kind of spilling over on the neighbors. So the king in this case is taking over all the land in the surrounding and submitting all the people to his power. So that is when this energy has gone too far. But for many of you, I think this is the energy that you're supposed to achieve, not taking powers over others, but having respect for yourself and better boundaries. Okay. And this is in the now, and we have the 9 of Cups. So, yes, and I think before you submitted yourself to get your needs met, and now you have kind of realized that this wasn't the right way. This person was never going to fulfill your needs anyway. So 9 has a kind of connection to the Hermit. So I'm thinking this is you doing a little bit revolution towards authorities in your life, people that you wanted things from. So you try to be nice towards them and submit yourself to what they wanted in hope of them being able to love you enough to fulfill your needs. This didn't happen. So probably a lot of challenges has led you to this situation where you are supposed to fulfill your own needs. So this is you need to start with self-love, self-respect, and also fulfilling your own dreams. So make a list of the things that makes you happy. Doesn't have to be big things, can be very small things. Live in the now. Also the things that might have made you happy as a child, and maybe revisiting these things and see if there's still some life in them, because sometimes when we grow up we forget to have fun, and it seems like fun wants to come back into your life. So instead of being so aimed towards other people fulfilling your needs, you are going to learn how to fulfill these needs for yourself for a while, not forever, but just so you will be less eager to submit yourself to outside authorities just to become loved. And this is your future. So we have the Empress here, and I'm thinking this is you in all your splendor. We have the sun and the moon here. So there's some kind of beautiful balance where you got the torch and finding amazing qualities inside yourself, like what a depth you have and what an ability to see the truth and to nurture things into existence. Also, when you stop letting other people judge you and start loving you, that's a much better position to create your future from, or the things you want into your life. Better point of attraction. So instead of, no, they never going to love me, we have this situation where you have been able to put boundaries, start fulfilling your own needs. So these thoughts that you had are going to wither away because they are not necessary for you to have anymore. You don't need to have that fear of rejection, because you are not rejecting yourself here. You are actually kind of swimming in the pool of your own divinity, and finding out how wonderful that is, and wondering why you didn't do this before, why you tried to make the world make you happy when you had the power to make you happy all by yourself. Okay, so this is in the past, and we have the Judgment. So it came a point here where you probably took some bold decision. You realized that the divine was with you and kind of pushing you into doing something that you have been afraid to do up till then. It seems very mature, so I think this wasn't super difficult for you. It kind of came naturally, either because you already have learned this in previous stage, or because you had become allergic, so you couldn't do anything else. But taking this bold decision too, it's almost like being like saying stop, or pointing like a direction, like this is how it is. And here we have also the Ace of Swords. So truth came out. You might have told someone the truth, someone told you the truth, or you realized the truth, and that was what made you able to take this bold decision. So you didn't doubt anymore. You weren't flying back and forwards to Rome. So you just, okay, so this is what I will do. And here we also have a little Knave of Swords. So I think this was the little person that made the revolution. You told someone the truth about what you saw. Kind of, I'm feeling this fairy tale with the Emperor Without Clothes. I guess most of you have heard it. In other case, Google it. The Emperor Without Clothes. This was a little child finally revealing that what everyone saw, but no one really took notice of. So, and it's this with power. Power is something that you give to someone because you agree with them or go with what they are saying. And if you're not doing that anymore, they don't have any power. So I think here you took your power and you spoke your truth. And we can see this chessboard. So there's still something that you want. And you have new bright ideas for how to achieve this, and you're not scared of the consequences anymore. This is like John the Ark kind of energy. And yeah, it goes on. Knight of Swords. Some of you might have been dealing with a swords person in this situation where you finally spoke the truth towards them, and that was you stepping into that kind of energy, not being judged or ruled anymore, but judging and ruling. So the King of Pentacles is boundaries. This is being able to communicate yourself and kind of spread your word into the world. So making people see your way of things. For example, we can have a situation between two spouses where one is always being able to make the other person see their point of view and taking them into consideration, but up till a certain point it didn't go vice versa. And here with the Knight of Swords, I think it went vice versa, not because the other person allowed it, but the first person doing all the listening before took power and, you know, started to say their truth because they were entitled to have their voice too. And here we have a little Knave of Wands. So it's a lot of messages here. Ace of Swords, Knave of Swords, that's messages. Knight of Swords is more like idea, or like an idea spreading over the world, or someone having an idea and fighting for it. It can also be like an imperialistic energy, like Rome taking over different countries in Europe back in the days. Okay, and here we have a Knave of Wands. So it seems like this energy has made you braver. It has also made you more hopeful for the future. So even if there was a big challenge of some sort, where you had to be very brave and outspoken, it seems like it gave you a nice aftertaste. And maybe the situation itself didn't go that well. I'm sensing a little bit war energy with all these swords here. But with the Knave of Wands, I think you have better tools now for how to deal with relationships in the future. So you feel this sparkling energy of hope, I would say. Hope and, yeah, almost feeling the summer breeze, or feeling something is in the air. I will check a little bit with all these swords and these messages things. This is from Oracle of Visions with Zero Marchetti. Yeah, okay, so it's like you're visiting something that's not your natural element, but it feels kind of nice, okay? This mermaid, she's used to being in water. So like Scorpio, your element is water. You have been probably being rather in tune with people's emotions, your own emotions, like an emotional world. But here you are taking breath of air. Swords energy is air. And we have a peace dove there, and butterflies and other things that belongs to the air quality. So it seems like you have been able to borrow someone else's superpower. being outspoken, traveling with the wind, having your ideas being heard, things like this. So it's really like feeling the sense of summer breeze here, but it might be just breathing air. Finally, some heavy load on your lungs, like the pressure of water, has disappeared, and you're able to breathe freely. So something you were really scared of doing, you did it, and it kind of went well for you. It didn't go that you thought that it would be maybe real dangerous, or that you will be very sad from this, but it doesn't seem like it was like that. I think you were helped also by the divine kind of lifting you up a little bit, when normally you would have been very sad with having to have to take this decision, but because this certain energy was not wanting you to suffer in this situation, you were kind of lifted up. So a situation that should have been rather challenging for you it actually gave you a sense of hope and a sense of strength and a sense of being aligned with the divine. So and in the same time, you're also exploring new sides to you, air instead of water, earth also. But I think this is in the past. You learned to put boundaries. Here you have also learned to speak your truth. Okay. So in the now, we have a Four of Pentacles. So this is you probably living in this King of Pentacles kind of tower. So I had a funny dream once. I might have told you this before, but since it comes to mind now, I will be obedient and tell you. So I try to honor my spirit guides like that. And it was a dream where God came to me and said, you are supposed to build a castle, or at least a fort, okay? And you have to do it in a certain amount of time. So it was a rush thing. And I started to build the fortress, or it was like it was supposed to be like this old stone fortress or castles. But when God came back and checked upon my work, I haven't achieved much. He could just poke a little bit like this on this castle wall, and it fell over. So I started to become desperate and rather like warm and agitated, and I started to put all my books, I love books, and I put them in plastic bags, dip them in concrete, and put them as building blocks. So I tried with my knowledge to build these boundaries, because it was what it was about. But it kind of worked, but my castle gate was of really, really thin wood. So when God came and pointed with the finger again, it just fell over. And so I was left with this kind of rather crappy castle, and I figured what to do. And I knew that it was soon enemies, kind of Knight of Swords here, would be at my door, and this would be a big showdown. And this was what I was preparing for. So I realized that their castle was up on a mountaintop. It was not a red castle like the garment on this person. It was a beautiful white castle on a top of a cliff. And I knew my enemy had left it because they were going to attack me. So I just left my crappy castle and climbed up the mountain and took their castle. So finally I had a really great castle. And I think this is what has happened to you here. You have kind of learned from someone else how to have better boundaries, that you also are allowed to be outspoken and say what is on your mind. You have the same right as everyone else. Before, you probably didn't think you had, so maybe you were a little bit overly humble. But here you are placed in the castle, so either you robbed them of it or you made one for yourself. Maybe you were more skilled than me. Okay. And here we have also Four of Cups. So Four of Pentacles, Four of Cups. This is a situation where you are kind of at peace. You have boundaries, your emotions are in check. You probably got a lot of help, as I said, from the divine with this, because normally I think you would have been rather upset with this scenery, because I think you had to do something that you have been not letting you do before because you were so scared of the consequences. Here you just did it bravely, and it had kind of great consequences, but maybe not exact the consequences that you wanted, because I feel a little bit aloneness with this. We have 9 of Cups underneath there, and here we have 4 of Coins, 4 of Cups. This is you have been doing this for yourself. No one has helped you. Okay, all the challenges has helped you. Challenges, until you, with your problem solving, figured out what to do. Okay, so I'll build myself a fortress, and I will find my inner peace. I will not let people make me upset or sad or anxious. And it's all you're doing, so it probably feels a little bit lonely, like you're not supported and the world is out to get you. Hell is other people and all that. But it's a good thing, because now you have your inner garden and the castle walls and inner peace. And next card is the King of Cups, and he comes really centered underneath the Knave of Swords. So I think this your inner child in this aspect is healed. I think now you're truly able to stand on your own side, on your inner child's side. You're not taking your parents or other authorities like their angle against you, and kind of I probably need to change, I probably need to look into that, I probably need to do this. Of course, we always need to better ourselves. It's part of the human evolution, but it doesn't mean that everything that happens is always your fault and it's always you that need to compromise or find ways forward. It's supposed to be a teamwork, and it's not. Currently it's not. And why it's not a teamwork right now was because you were supposed to be challenged in this way, so you would find your own inner peace and your own inner balance and your own boundaries and your own sense of self. And we can see with the King of Pentacles here in the center that you achieved justice. So I think if you were struggling with senses of depression before, I don't think you have the same amount. It's not that life is super giddy, but it's like harmonious, like a straight line like this. So it's calm sea here. It's not like super passionate and over the moon wonderful, but you're not down in the deepest waters excavating anymore either. So this seems healthy. Okay, and King of Cups, it doesn't only stand for Scorpio, it also stands for healing, being a man of Tao, a person that can't be touched because they are healed. We still have an 8 of Cups, however, so it might be some kind of rendezvous with the Knight of Swords kind of energy that you adapted to. Might be that someone will come and challenge you again with harsh words, or try to make you submit to them and give of your energy to them again. So you're going to be challenged with this plenty more, and you need to stay with what you achieved and then achieve even more greatness. Also be able to start dealing with difficult relationships, learning how to deal with them, not only put yourself in a safe place, but also dealing with this so they can't steal your energy. And here we have a 6 of Swords, so I think this is an advice card. It comes underneath the Knave of Wands. This little emotion that you have had, that you feel something exciting, that exciting feeling is you standing up for yourself. It comes from this. The feeling of summer breeze or a lot of oxygen in your lungs, it comes from this. It's some kind of big relief, because finally you don't question yourself all the time, your motives, if you're good, if you're bad, if you should have done this, if you should said that, if you should do this. No, you just go with what you feel now, because you feel you're divinely guided also by your higher self and your soul. So even if you make mistakes, it's fine. We are here to make mistakes, make a mess, and find solutions, and be able to solve problems and evolve. So we are not here to always be perfect and do the right thing. We are supposed to be a little bit sinners. We are here to see our flaws and work with them. We are not supposed to hate ourselves for not being perfect. We are perfectly flawed, okay? And here you realize that how wonderful it feels to accept yourself at this level, and to love yourself and to align with yourself, and to align with those feelings inside, the feelings of I'm not being supported in this situation. It feels unfair. And here you say exactly that. And it's a thrill because someone is finally standing on your side, and that someone is you. So Six of Swords is connected to the Lover's card, and it's when heart and mind is aligned. And I think you have done this inside of yourself, aligned your heart and mind. It's not in a conflict anymore, like with the Nine of Cups and Five of Wands that we saw. This rabbit going like this to avoid being struck, eaten by the fox, and instead being struck by a car. So you're not doing that anymore. You are actually standing up for yourself. Maybe not against the car. Better would be to move aside, and I think this is what you have done here. You have moved aside, but this energy wants to come back. I guess it's the car or the fox energy wants to come back and steal more of your energy, chase you, and they want to get you scared. They want to have you in that position where you are panicking. But I don't think it's going to work. It's just another opportunity for you to see how wonderful aligned you are with yourself, and that their tactics of scaring you is not going to work, because you have become so rock solid now when you have your own castle and your emotions in beautiful balance, because you love yourself, you align with yourself, you believe in yourself, you trust yourself, you respect yourself. What can they do? What can they do against you if you are able to accept everything that happens and deal with change, deal with problems that comes with this kind of calmity? They can't do anything towards you. You are this eternal soul now, not this little scared entity that thinks that this life is the only one. Okay? So it seems calm, but still not particularly support. You are not so supported by others. You're still challenged by others, but you support yourself in a good way. Okay? And this is your future, and we have another 4 here. So I think you're really building a fort. 4 of Pentacles, 4 of Cups, 4 of Wands. So it shows that when we are this sure of ourselves, when we are this centered, when we don't question ourselves any longer, there's no hell we are living in anymore. We can have peace and quiet inside our own home, inside our own body. We can also become very strong, like this lion here. And the lion is also a symbol like big-hearted, okay? For some reason I'm thinking of Coeur de Lion. I think that's French. Coeur de Lion. It might be like brave heart or something like that. So when we have a brave heart, we don't have to be reactive. We don't have to be rude. We don't have to be bitchy. We don't have to be, winning over other people. We just have this royal sense of self. And whatever people say, we will be able to say something calm, loving, and kind of striking back. That will be the truth. And it's almost like you're speaking with the voice of God. And I'm not seeing God as an entity in this situation. Even it's very easy for a human to make that symbol. But God as the spark of life that's in all of us. That's also the warmth that's in your, you can feel the warmth in your hands. You can also feel the same warmth from the sun. That's all God. And now you have this energy, and you're speaking with this energy. This rays of the sun, this sparkle of truth. And it also means that if someone says something equally enlightening to you, like, but can it not be in this way? You will say, yes, wonderful, thank you. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, of course it can be in that way. So you're not even protecting your ego anymore. You're just calm, cool, loving, super strong, and kind of a little bit untouchable, because no one can really, poke you when you have this kind of living in this kind of beautiful, you have feng shuied your own temple, your own body, making it to a sanctuary for yourself, with a lot of self-love, and that's making you to a total different human, more calm, more cool, less reactive, easygoing, good person to, a good listener, a good problem solver, someone that doesn't get panicky or agitated but keep their cool. So it looks like a really nice feeling, okay? And here we didn't get the Four of Swords, we get the Temperance card instead. So Four of Swords would have mean that you would kind of act a little bit too cool and maybe not let people in because, yeah, hell is other people. But here I don't see you do that. I see the Temperance card, which is Sagittarius. So it shows you being the scientist. And I'm thinking of the situation in my dream where I was trying to build a castle and find a solution with the books. I think this kind of solution, you're trying to find new solutions. So you're like a scientist. Your curiosity isn't like it hasn't been laid to rest. It's still here, and you still want to be able to, understand these people or be able to agree with them or work something out with them. So it's some kind of passion, some kind of longing, some kind of excitement here. So even if you have been to hell and back with certain people, it's like, I'm still thinking if I could, if we could solve it, if we could fix it like this or fix it like that, or if we could do that, or we can try this. So it's like you're full of hope and full of energy. It's not like with the Eight of Cups where you were totally exhausted. So you still have hope. You still have a lot of go inside of you, and you haven't really given up on people. It rather feels like your love has increased here, and also your ability to solve problems. And here we have a little Knave of Chalices, comes underneath the Knave of Swords and the King of Chalices. A lot of children. I'm going to take an oracle card because I see so many different things here. The Devil. I'm not sure it was totally helpful. Yeah, okay. It's your different aspects of you from when you were young that you have put in the basement. So different needs, different wants, different things that you wanted to feel. I think many of you have put your most vulnerable part in person, maybe down in the shadows, because this part of you was too fragile to be shown around. I think this part of you, the Knave of Swords there, it was what made people pissed off with you. So you put it in the basement here with the Devil because you didn't want to piss off people. So you say, quiet my little mouth and I will give you sugar. So the little mouth was put in the basement here with the Devil and your other shadows and said, please be quiet. You are making too much of a hassle. People are getting angry with me for what you're saying, and I can't take these consequences, so I'm putting you in the shadows. But here you were brave. You took out your little inner child and let them speak their truth, okay, regardless of the consequences. And now when you have built this beautiful foundation for yourself, you're able to speak your truth, you're able to protect yourself, you're able to keep calm, make your emotions in balance. You don't let people steal from you anymore. You tell the truth of what you see and what you want. You're also very loving and eager to get together with others and have this dance again. So here comes your most vulnerable part, the very loving part of you, the jellyfish part. It's it's almost like the original essence of you. If you were born, if we all came from water, this is what came first, okay? So this little entity is so full of love and only wants to love and be loved. So this is an entity that freaks you out a little bit because it's your vulnerability, your need for things that you can't control yourself. You can't control that other people will give love to you. You can't control that they will fulfill your needs. But the thing you could control was yourself and your own ability to help yourself and heal yourself. But here comes this part that really wants to participate with other souls and create this beautiful dance of Leela, Maya, illusion, wants to play this game of life, the game of love. So we'll see where it goes with that. Okay. And here we have a 6 of Wands, so it seems like you can be very successful with that. We have very masculine sixes here. They are both connected to the Lovers card, but it's fire and air. So it seems like when you're doing this love dance, romantic love, love between friends, family, so on, you're not going to do it from a fragile point, okay, of gravity. You're going to do it from a rather masculine and protective point of gravity. You know what you want, and you know what you need, but you're not going to, you know, bend over backwards to get it, or become, you know, the rug on the floor so other can walk over you. No, this comes with some new kind of royalty or self-respect, and you know, you mean business here. You're going to see through other people and tell them what you need, what you want. You're going to be able to say, well, if you don't open up emotionally, we can't have any exchange. I can't be speaking to a wall here. So you will tell this regardless of the consequences, if this is what you feel. So it's more masculine, it's more go-grabbing, it's more loud, it's more outspoken. So you have taken yourself the right to both be vulnerable, but be able to still speak up for yourself. I'm thinking about a boyfriend I had when I was really young. We were out together with my friends from school, and they were watching boys. My boyfriend was with us, and they were saying, oh, Helen, what do you think about that boy or that boy? And I answered them, and we giggled. It was like a girls' night out, and he just tagged along, so it was like, suit yourself, okay? But then he told me something in this really calm way, and in this very grown-up way. He said, well, Helen, when I'm out with you, I really don't want to hear about your opinions about boys and girls. Please don't ask her. Respect that I'm with you here. This is not a girls' night out. I'm with you, and I want to be respected. And we did. So after that, not a sip. We didn't do this to offend him, of course. We did it because we were young girls, and it was fun with boys and giggling. And also maybe we were showing off to him a little bit. But he just told us he didn't appreciate it, and he did it lovingly so, and no hard feelings, and just we respected him because of that. So this is what I'm seeing with you, okay? Not taking any bullshit, not letting people act juvenile. We had a lot of children here as well. This is the very passionate children, and the 8 of Cups in between. So I think love is there. It's just that maybe people don't understand. Sorry, love is there, but people don't understand how to show this love, instead of just showing off, or, you know, see how fast I can go with my bike here, motorcycle, and back on the wheel, like this. And you're not impressed at all. The thing you wanted to hear was how beautiful your eyes looked. So maybe you need to say that. So we have a lost child here. So this is some kind of interesting math. I have a book called something. It's about that God is in the math. And I'm thinking that's true, but I can't solve it just like this. But what I'm seeing here is 4, 4, 4, and then 4, you know, children. Page of Wands, Page of Swords, Page of Cups, and Page of Pentacles. These are the masculine children, and these are the feminine children. And we have the masculine elements here. So I'm thinking that you have gone into some beautiful balance here with the Alchemist card, that you have a beautiful balance between the masculine and the feminine within you. Every part is allowed to take room, to take up the space. That's your beautiful castle here, your feng shui garden. No one is expelled into the darkness here, but both your masculine side, like I want respect, and your loving side, I want love, they can be there in the same time. There's no opposition. Just look at this guy I was telling you about. There was no opposition. He could be strong and showing vulnerability and love in the same time. Like, I want you to only love me. I don't want you to these other girls to ask you about what boys are cute. I'm the one that's cute, okay? So I think this is the recipe for successful relationships, to be able to be like this. Stand up for what you believe in, show vulnerability, show your true intentions, what you want, and still be able to, you know, protect yourself. Okay. So I'm going to take cards from the Chakra Insight Oracle. I haven't been doing reviews on these. I haven't had the time, but I will get to there eventually. So I will take an advice card for my dear Scorpio viewers. So for my dear Scorpios. Oops. Yeah, compassion, caring, empathy, acceptance, gentleness. Yeah, beautiful description. 28. So maybe before we thought the one in power was the strongest, but this is really the strongest one. Release, accept, gently rise above. Your truest path forward is the path of compassion. With its root in the mud and a steam reaching up through murky waters, the lotus flower rises above the surface to open its heaven-scented petals. At night it will close and retreat once again into the waters, only to emerge at dawn, untouched by impurity, as it openly shares its pristine beauty with the world. The lotus reveals to us a model for enlightenment through the grace and power of compassion. And also this going down to the basement to fetch up your lost soul parts and get good use of them on your spiritual path. Okay. The Latin, interesting, since I have been speaking a lot about Rome, word for compassion literally means co-suffering. This card is not an invitation to suffer, but rather to allow yourself and others to rise up beyond suffering through the light of genuine empathy and understanding. The call to compassion is called to accept people and situations for who they are and where they are at. As we let go of judgment and the need to fix the situation or to label things as good or bad, we begin to realize that every situation carries within it a gift, and that we each have unique lessons to learn. By judging or focusing on each other's faults, we contribute to keeping each other stuck in those places. Often our lack of acceptance of other people stems from a deeper judgment of ourselves. As we learn to see and treat each other in our highest light, we help open the passage for each to find his or her way up into the sun. So this guy I mentioned, he didn't keep quiet about what he felt, and he didn't judge me for saying this. He just told me what he needed from me, and in a most graceful way, without me feeling like he didn't make an argument out of it. He just told me, this is how I want to be treated. I don't think this is respectful, and that's that. Of course, we were empathic people that was surrounding him. Other people might have reacted differently, but we just, gave him credit and shut up our mouths. So you don't have to be silent to accept people. He accepted that we were juvenile teenage girls, hopped up on hormones, and he didn't really judge us for it. He just told us how it affected him, and we listened. So before you judge someone for their shortcomings or mistakes, take a moment to gently feel what it's like to stand in their shoes. Experience the world as they might, and allow yourself to drop into space of compassion. See them rising up and shining in full glory. See yourself in the same way. So it still doesn't mean you need to shut up. You can see, okay, so they're not being particularly mature right now. How can I get them to understand what I'm seeing the best way, the most compassionate way? And you do that. You don't have to suffer in silence. Yes, it is. That would only bring passion, passive aggressiveness. It's not going to help anyone. It's also time to have compassion with yourself. Treat yourself with the same love and acceptance that you would share with someone that you deeply care about. Talk to yourself in a loving way. Encourage yourself. Look for the positive in your life. Remember that you are human and you are learning, growing, and evolving each day. So love your humanness and support each rising step on this journey with compassion. Honor yourself and others with flower of compassion. Okay. So if you're hearing some sound like right now, very giddy sound, it's my dishwasher that celebrates it has been done with the dishes. It's very giddy. Okay. So the next oracle card would be Oracle of Dragon Fae. And it's the same here. I will do a review eventually when I have time. So, my dear Scorpio. Interesting, beautiful card. Gwyn and Eluish. Attunement. I just enjoy this energy of this card. It feels like this combination of compassion and strength. And trusting yourself. And when you are not questioning things and not being a victim to what other people are doing to you, but actually seeing, oh, okay, so this person has a little bit of an issue here. I need to make them aware that this is not nice for me. You're less reactive and less, likely to start a fight with someone. So, Gwyn and Eluish speak as one. Dear one, never be surprised at the ways in which your connections to the mother and to the earth are being birthed into the world. If you are experiencing prophetic dreams, sift through the images and messages and know that all insights are worthy of attention, and most especially your own. The inner world and the earth's magic are both speaking to you and wishing for you to answer. Do this by connecting with your own inner self, all these children. And also the devil there is also like the inside of Mother Earth, very hot place. In the olden days, there was a goddess named Hel, and she was, it means mountain or like rock foundation. So she was Gaia, of course. And when we buried our peers, we did so in the cave, so they will return to the mother, to the earth, down to the mud, to the devil. Actually, hell is coming from this place where we went to our mother, hell, okay, to heal and to become a holy part of her, so that we can be reborn. And also these people that worshipped Hel, they also, every time they come a new kid to the block, they wonder, okay, is this our aunt or is this the grandpa? So, who has come back to us after resting in hell. So Hel was later kidnapped by first the Nordic beliefs with where actually, see here, Valhalla replaced Hell. Hell was then only a place where children and old people went. The warriors, they went to Valhalla instead. And then it was kidnapped even more with the Christians saying, well, if you go to hell, you go to the devil. So then she was totally disregarded and not honored anymore. We all return to her, the great goddess, our mother. The earth wishes for you to reconnect with her in simple, pleasant, and joyful ways. Friends and food, laughter and love. Do not fear your own true self, your intuitive self. There are many words your people use for the truth of who you are, which can lead to confusion, and there has been fear and suspicion seeded in your minds, which can lead to mistrust. And mistrust is not what this reading is about. It's about trusting and trusting yourself, being your own center of gravity with Scorpio here in the middle, and letting all your inner children have their saying, and you know, just love yourself. You're receiving messages, and yes, you also can hear them just as we can hear each other through see here. You can also hear them, just as we can hear each other's thoughts before they have even developed into words. I didn't know that was a thing, but I guess. Okay. In time, you will come to understand these silent ways of communicating and know the truth of your belonging to the old ways. Know that all beings, plants, animals, and etheric have so much to share with you. You are never alone. This dragonfly was, Gwyn and Luis was the prince and princess of the forest. And they are always in perfect harmony. So allow yourself to be in perfect harmony. Allow yourself to be this Six of Swords, you know, mind and heart aligned. Just trust in yourself. Don't be the split. Be the union. Don't be the split, because then you become mistrusting and combative and, you know, judgmental. Trust yourself, love yourself, and you will be calm, caring, and be able to speak your truth, be able to keep your balance, your harmony, not going into unnecessary drama, things like this, not fueling the drama either, but actually cooling it down. So you will be a great asset to the world when this part of your journey is done. When you have healed this much, you will really be showing an example. You will all be like this boyfriend I once had. Okay. And be able to act with this kind of grace, and also let all your natural parts be a part of you. So beautiful, my dear Scorpio. I hope this helped. I want you to take really, really good care. It actually came a song before. I really didn't approve of it, but as I said before, I should honor everything that the divine comes with. And this is with Justin Bieber, and it's Love Yourself. It's not a favorite song at all. I actually get annoyed with it and usually shut it off when it comes on my car stereo, but well, congratulations. Okay. Bye bye.